Welcome to YellBro Road. I am Jordan, and today we're going to hear James's background. And also, we're going to react.
Welcome to Ram Ranch, and today
we're also going to react to Tim Pool on Surrounded. Can't wait. Before I get started, don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Also, please check out the Discord link if you want to join that. We're in that Discord right now. All opinions are welcome, and obviously everything I show you will be linked in the same description box. Stuff like this. And I haven't watched this, but I can almost assume what this is. And let's just hear it. Here we go.
This is a short-term disruption for the long-term gain.
Short-term pain for the long-term gain.
Short-term pain be for long-term gain.
We're going to have some short-term pain with long-term gain.
Short-term pay for a long-term gain.
Some short-term pain, yes, but we've got some long-term gain. Short-term spike for a long-term gain.
Some short-term pain for American consumers.
We may have to deal with that in the short term.
Short-term and temporary.
Temporary short-term pain.
It's going to suck in the short term.
Some short-term pain.
Short-term pain. We have to focus on the short-term.
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 Short-term and long-term.
Short-term blip.
Hopefully this is a short-term pain.
Short-term is highly outweighed of the long-term benefits.
Some short-term pain for the long-term gain.
Short-term sacrifice for a long-term gain.
This is a short-term disruption.
So, as you can see, and there's a reason why I'm playing this, because this is Tim Pool's class. I know you see Fox News and you see, Carolyn Levitt, right? Someone who's like was an official for the Trump administration. But this is where Timmy works at and for. That's where he belongs, clear as day. And honestly, I view this guy as the most transparently fraudulent social commentator, probably in this whole circle or this whole sphere of things, of different creators. He is the most transparently dog shit. He's not funny. He's not clever. He's actually pretty dumb, actually. And he's a propagandist. So, he is, I think, the most obvious, obviously the worst, I think. Or what amongst the worst. But his is just more transparently that way. But let's be fair to Timmy. I have not seen this yet. I guess we'll find out. Here is Timmy on Jubilee with, what's this called? Tim Pool versus 20 progressives, starting with the topic. The mainstream left commits more violence than the mainstream right. Which is why are we starting there? Okay. All right, let's hit play. Here we go.
you know why he's starting there.
The mainstream left commits more violence than the mainstream right.
If you'd like to be the first debater, get to the chair in 3, 2,
What the
1.
80s was that? Okay. Weird camera cut.
How's it going? Hey.
Great to meet you, buddy. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good.
There seems to be a broader implication with your prompt that there's this domestic threat from mainstream left politicians.
Yes.
Do you really think Hillary Clinton's leading the Vanguard Revolution Party?
No.
What is your take?
When you look at the violence that we do see, I describe it as from blunt to acute, which is with the fringe extreme right, you'll see extreme mass shootings. You'll see, someone will show up and they'll unload on people, things like that. On the left, though, you'll see riots, vandalism that you don't see from the right. But the point I'm making is that when you break down the ideology that motivates individuals that commit political violence, there is more often an overlap between what the Democratic Party espouses ideologically and what we see in street-level violence, as well as maybe assassinations, versus what the Republicans would espouse.
Are we going to bring up foreign policy here? I mean, why is that always just an elephant in the room with these discussions when it comes to violence? Or some people bring up black crime rates. For some reason, warfare is always left out. Interesting, huh? It's almost like they're devil worshippers or something. It's kind of crazy. But I mean, when you talk about extreme violence with mass casualties, I mean, that right there is the biggest contributor, is it not? When it comes to human against human, violent contact, that is it, right? Millions dead in one event, million more in another event. And somehow we focus on what? Kids, lighting a Kmart on fire or some shit like that. Or a car. It's like, I'm just like, it isn't, that is very important as well. It's just this whole idea of, you know, quote unquote negative violence is never really, I think, put in the proper context, like ever really, when it comes to these commentators and political thinking people. Almost like they're mentally captured, or a liar like Timmy is. What's it play though? Here we go.
I mean, I couldn't disagree more. What ideologies that the Democratic Party is promoting that leads to these types of violence? Anytime you see an act of violence that's typically attributed to the left, it is immediately condemned by every Democrat politician.
Indeed.
You couldn't point to one that
Indeed.
actually endorses that. Or you have somebody like Donald Trump, who's literally the president of the United States, saying that we should call for the death of congressional members who are fulfilling their civic duty, and saying, hey, maybe you shouldn't fulfill illegal orders if you're in the military. And Donald Trump's asking for them to be put to death. How is that not inciting to violence?
No, that's absolutely terrifying. I completely disagree with that. My point more so is that when you see, say, the George Floyd or the BLM riots, you end up with Biden and Kamala themselves promoting fundraisers for those accused of committing these crimes. During
Which
these riots,
which crimes could you point to?
So in Minnesota, you had there was a firefighter who opened a sports bar. It was burned down. In fact, when the local news went to interview him about his dream bar being burnt to the ground, it was ransacked. I don't think it was burned to the ground. They while they're filming the story, there were people looting a safe and stealing it.
Well, I think that there's absolutely a big difference.
Okay, I'm pretty sure the topic says mainstream left, so I assume he means mainstream politicians and mainstream, like, you know, Rachel Maddows and whoever. I don't even know who's there anymore. Is it Joy Reid? Did she leave? She left, I think. Chris Matthews or whatever. What do you mean exactly? But I'm pretty sure by mainstream they mean that, right? So where's their promotion of riots or whatever the fuck? But whatever, it's Timmy. Here we go.
In the story, there were people looting a safe and stealing it.
Well, I think that there's absolutely a big difference between a lot of the private buildings or private enterprises that were targeted versus like public institutions like the police precinct. Like, you're somebody.
I hate the Jubilee style things. Like, is this a fucking game or something? Fucking duck, duck, goose? Raise a flag, then the flag meter goes up. You can race to the chair to be the first one to debate Timmy. Like, if they actually have to run to the chair, right, to be able to debate him, that is one of the dumbest formats made for fucking children at shit I've ever seen in my life. Just had to point that out. All right, here we go.
Enterprises that were targeted versus like public institutions like the police precinct. Like, you're somebody who I've seen the iconography on your show. You're a big patriotic guy. You love 1776, right? That wasn't the most peaceful way that we had, you know, criticizing our government or saying that tyranny shouldn't exist.
How long was the Revolutionary War going on before they signed the Declaration?
I will say that the police precincts, the same people who committed a brutal murder using state violence in order to justify that, I think we can understand why people would rightfully be mad without any accountability.
Which political party is in control of the police department in Minneapolis?
That is not the central. First of all, we're talking about the mainstream political left. Which politicians are endorsing that type of behavior?
Never said politicians were endorsing it.
Then what's the mainstream left?
So you have activists.
Thank you.
Whose ideology aligns with politicians who are
You'd say that those
votes.
activists identify with the Democratic Party, the ones that are committing violence.
The Democratic Party courts
because let me
their
tell
vote.
you, the leftists that you could talk to, not the biggest fans of the Democratic Party.
In favor of Black Lives Matter?
I would say, yeah. I'd say even most moderates. I'd say actual moderates, not right-leaning conservatives who claim to be moderates.
Were the riots
usually those people also agree that police violence is something that should be discouraged.
Were the riots Black Lives Matter motivated?
They were motivated.
By Black Lives Matter. So that ideology is espoused by...
No,
so my point is
Black Lives Matter is not encouraging violence. Black Lives Matter is recognizing systemic inequality.
Never said
where
they were telling people to go be violent. I'm saying that there are violent individuals, and with the riots, a lot of them, which we've seen.
Can you tell me
how
who
about this?
Tell me who Chris Ray is. Do you know who Chris Ray is?
Explain it to me.
Well, you have a show talking about politics every day. I would think that you know. But Chris Ray was the former...
Let's not do this. If you have a point to make, let's make a point. Let's not try and play these games.
So Chris Ray was the former FBI director under Donald Trump's first term.
Yep.
He said that he even agreed with the findings from both the congressional research session that right-wing violence is way more proliferate in this country than left-wing violence.
That's not meaningful to a voter. Let me explain. The Republican Party rejects neo-Nazism, correct?
No, Donald Trump invited Nick Fuentes to have dinner with him, with Kanye West.
So tell me one politician who went out and campaigned for the neo-Nazi vote.
I'm blanking on his name, but Gozar in
is that a
in Arizona.
mainstream view in this country?
Well, we could talk about Gozar. We could talk about Matt Gaetz. We could talk about
Matt Gaetz is not endorsing neo-Nazism, and Donald Trump
Are
said
you kidding me?
Nazis should be condemned entirely.
No, he is literally partnering with the America First movement. He was
America First
chosen
and neo-Nazism are totally different.
Bro, so you don't think do you think Nick Fuentes is a neo-Nazi? I forgot you've had him on your show. Oh my God, I literally forget.
I wouldn't describe Nick Fuentes as a neo-Nazi.
You don't think that Nick Fuentes celebrating Adolf Hitler is not neo-Nazi adjacent?
I think you have to be very specific on what your terms are. And so when you go to an American voter and say something like...
This is our moderate, by the way, everybody. This is our moderate.
Indeed.
Keep going.
Indeed.
He's getting embarrassed, isn't he?
It gets worse.
Well, I think
it gets worse.
This is not a... I know they probably offered you a bag, Timmy, but... And you're hemorrhaging viewers, probably. So this is probably like a desperation move, kinda. But you are not fit for this stuff. You're not. And I'll be fair to Timmy here. The Chris Wray reference, where I understood that Trump appointed him as FBI director in his first term, right? But I'm usually hearing like Christopher Wray, and like I'm usually like hearing that name to make me like, oh, that guy, got it. So I kind of missed that one. Like Chris Wray, like who the fuck is Chris Wray? Is that a singer? Who is that? So I'll be fair to Timmy on that one. Like that slipped my mind as well. But still, he's already jumbling like his terminology. And hey, what do you mean like activists did this? Okay, who? If they're mainstream, they have a name, right? Tell me their names. He probably can't do that. And they're also not mainstream. As much as Madden will say, "Oh my God, Black Lives Matter," right? Or Call of Duty will say Black Lives Matter. There's one thing, like a mainstream cleaned up version, and there's like, on the street activist people, where it's just like two different things. One's like a movement type of thing, and one's like an actual organization type of thing. But all right, let's keep playing. Let's hear Timmy get laughed at more. There we go.
So when you go to a regular American and ask them what is meaningful to them in terms of an election, you don't have Democrats or Republicans endorsing violence. But you also don't have, Charlie Kirk's a good example. He threw out Nick Fuentes, he threw out white identitarians, white nationalists from his events. They were not welcome. That's mainstream. You don't have riots coming from the Republican Party and the right, although you do have January 6th and things like that. When you take a look at, say, the shootings of the Tesla facilities, the execution of Aaron Danielson, the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and one of the attempted assassinations on Donald Trump, not the Pennsylvania one, you can see the underlying ideologies overlap with the Democratic Party. When you take a look at, like, Nick Fuentes, he's opposed.
You mean the really famous one? The famous assassination attempt, right? He's saying, well, that one wasn't a Democrat person. It's like, well, wait a minute. Isn't that that's where he actually got shot, right? And the other ones are, they're calling them Iranians did it, right? They're doodles on a fucking loose leaf paper. Okay. It's like, he is horrendous at that. Like, this is going to be embarrassing. I can tell already. I don't know what you did to God, Timmy, but he set you up for failure and embarrassment. Here we go.
And one of the attempted assassinations on Donald Trump, not the Pennsylvania one, you can see the underlying ideologies overlap with the Democratic Party. When you take a look at, like, Nick Fuentes, he's opposed to the Republican Party. He's been actively endorsing Democrats right now.
He's been saying that the Republican Party is too left for him. It's not that he's opposed to the Republican Party in principle.
This is literally my point.
No,
Nick Fuentes comes out and says, do not vote for Trump. The mainstream Republican Party is at odds with these people.
No, again, if you're looking at all of the empirical data, the violence is way more on the right.
But
so
that's not
you
the
can say
claim.
what your feelings are. You
That's
can
not
say
my
that.
feeling nor the claim.
No,
it is not meaningful to a voter to say we don't like neo-Nazis and white supremacists, because the Republican Party is not saying they want a white America.
Let's be objective of where the violence is coming from, and if it's more substantially coming from the right, that is a problem that needs to be tackled.
It's not coming from Charlie Kirk.
Okay, we're not talking about Charlie Kirk. We're talking about the overall ideologies.
In fact, we're not.
So you're telling me
that's not my claim.
You're telling me that the prioritization of hierarchies, both ethnic, both cultural, that is not a dangerous ideology. But something like BLM that says, hey, maybe we should take back police violence. Maybe we should have accountability for people who are in charge of certain aspects of our nation, committing violence on citizens. Those are absolutely completely different ideologies. And the fact that you're saying it is more motivating for violence, that the left wing is encouraging people to take make those that are committing violence accountable.
In the
that
last 10
absolutely is
years,
not more.
there have been over 465 incidents of left-motivated political violence that aligns with the Democratic Party, and there's been one on the Republican side, which is January.
So they fact check and it's like, we don't have the numbers for that. Sorry. No credible standardized data set substantiates over 465. Okay. Like, is he the lamb for the slaughter type of thing? Is he the sacrificial thing? You know, from the governmental apparatus? Like, okay, he's our face of getting, like, he's the one that's going to get punched in the face. You know, socially or you know, politically. Because he's so trash, we can't sell him anymore. All right, just let him get punched in the face for us. Fuck. Sam Cedar, you're next. Don't worry. Be patient, Sam Cedar. You're next. Go dunk on Timmy, Sam Cedar. And then we're going to watch you lose your fucking smile. Slowly, too, as time rolls by. But let's play, though. There we go.
6, which admittedly is particularly egregious. January 6th was, that's why we talk about blunt versus acute. Now, the problem is, I already know what all you're going to say. You're going to cite FBI stats and Cato, but it's not meaningful to me or any voter to tell me why white supremacists are violent, because I don't like white supremacists, nor will I vote for them. And more importantly, you bring up Nick Fuentes. He is not aligned with Republicans, and he's advocated against them.
I think
speak up, girl.
Republicans don't like him.
I think for somebody who has a
What'd I miss?
where you talk about this stuff every day, you are completely misreading the conversation when you're saying that those that are engaged in like civil disobedience are like Democrat voters. You're telling me that those people are canvassing for Democratic politicians,
never said that.
which is
I'm
absolutely
actually,
not true.
Absolutely in favor of canvassing. I'm in favor of protesting.
I'm not saying that you're. I'm not saying that you're against that. But I'm saying
don't try and frame my argument like I'm upset with protests, because I've defended Black Lives Matter blocking streets.
Occupy Wall Street.
Left-aligned progressive groups like anti-capitalist groups blocking streets and environmental groups. I stand with civil disobedience, and I've defended them every single time.
You haven't, you freak.
What do you think we're saying is more violent on the left? You mentioned Black Lives Matter. You mentioned these
Let's
protests.
talk about the Tesla facilities being unloaded upon or shot up, right? These are motivated by an ideology that you will hear from Elizabeth Warren. Now, of course, she's not telling people to shoot anybody, but she is coming out saying Elon Musk is a dangerous threat to this country. And then you end up with someone going and pulling a rifle up and shooting up a Tesla.
To everybody.
When you understand that the right...
So his argument is that, wait, they're more, okay, commits more... Wait, the mainstream left commits more violence than the mainstream right. And what he means by mainstream, I guess, is Elizabeth Warren. And she commits it by saying, I don't like Elon Musk. Got it. Like, this is expected, where from quote-unquote progressives to Timmy Pool, the idea of foreign policy will just be left out, even though that's where the most actual material, physical violence happens at, is in warfare. So thus, I'm going to kick back and enjoy the show. Here we go.
Always says politicians are not responsible for individual actions.
Elizabeth
Warren saying, hey, maybe we should have the same sort of economic policies they have in Scandinavia.
Why was
that is not her encouraging, go shoot up a Tesla facility.
Why was
Where Donald Trump saying, let's hang the people who encouraged those in the military to actually fulfill their duties. That is completely...
My claim is not that the right is completely innocent.
He's the leader of the Republican Party, my dude. To say that these are equivocable at all is completely false.
I condemn 100% what Donald Trump said, calling for the death of those politicians.
We have to move on.
Timmy, it's not about you condemning. Like, I condemn those actions. Like, you made a statement and people are arguing against you. Here we go. All right, next. Who's next?
To meet you, Tim.
Likewise.
All right, let's play Duck Duck.
If you want to be the next debater, get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
This is fully healthy and smart and intelligent thing to do.
What I find really interesting is the whole premise of like the Occupy Wall Street movement was to protest, right?
Indeed.
It was specifically geared towards making sure that the general public was understanding the situation at the time, which had a lot to do with anti-capitalist motives, right? And so when we're talking about who's more violent than who, we have to be very specific that the violence that is recorded in the data is not ideological violence. It's not this like rhetoric. It has to be evidentiary. So if you're going to say like, oh, Black Lives Matter and any leftists that are associated with that are automatically violent. That's just not the case.
I didn't say that.
But that's what you're implying.
No. I'm implying that when you have riots in this country, overwhelmingly, the underlying ideology aligns with the mainstream left ideology of this country.
But what you're saying in your prompt that you wrote is that the left is more violent than the right.
The mainstream political left commits more violence than the mainstream political right.
Right, the mainstream. And
Indeed.
what I'm trying to tell you is that the data is not showing that that is the actual evidence. If
it
you're
does,
talking, no, it doesn't.
It does. My team has put together over 10 years
75 to
465
80% of violence, actual violence that is being tracked as domestic terrorism comes from the right. It's white supremacist groups.
And white supremacists are not in a large political party getting voted for.
Yes, they are. The
They're
Republican Party is very largely right wing. It is very far right.
But they're not white supremacists, nor are the Americans voting for Republican Party because they want white supremacy.
What do you think "Make America Great Again" means?
I think it means making the economy improve. I think it means building our cultural institutions. Well,
according to what time? According to what time? I'll give you that.
Probably the 80s, because Trump's an old man.
I
would say the 90s.
Seriously doubt he meant the
great.
80s. He's much older than the 80s.
Well, your interpretation of Donald Trump's opinions is separate from when we see a riot, what is motivating the riot? When we see
opinions
an
lead
assassination.
his policies, don't they?
Indeed, and
Wouldn't you say
no
that's
one,
what
no one
politics
here is
is all
making the
about?
claim that Donald Trump is innocent, nor does he not have individuals who
But
engage
you're
in
attempting
violence
to
based
make
on
a
similar
claim
ideologies.
that his type of ideology that leads his policy is not nearly as violent as the left,
Well, how
which
many
is
riots have there been from the right?
largely anti-capitalist, which is largely anti-fascist. None of what you're saying makes any sense. It sounds like
It
you're
does.
honestly grifting a lot.
How many Republican?
Yeah, he is. Also, what's it? Trump showing you like I gotcha shots on the internet, right? Well, with his team, right? He's probably not doing it directly himself. But it's like, hey, look at these boats we blew up in the middle of the ocean. Look at this. Declassified. Look at this, right? Like, I mean, what does that say?
The Yemeni people, like the dancing during,
exactly.
I think it was like Ramadan
doing
or
prayer
something.
circles, and you're just like, all right, let's blow them up. But guys, they're fucking look. They're Arab. They're probably terrorists. Blow them up. See? And yes, plenty of fans that may hide their faces now or their voices now were cheering that shit on when that was happening.
Yeah.
Plenty of them. They probably hide their faces now and scream Israel instead, don't they? Oh my God! You see what Israel's doing? They now
Israel.
they scream that now. Meanwhile, they're cheering on the murder of people. And those guys usually disappear in shame. But don't worry, it's only the internet. Like, hey man, Bob at the water cooler's not going to know you said that. So good, keep it moving. Which is, I mean, peak loser mentality. Like, what are you doing? Like, what's your point here then? Why are you here then? Fuck. All right, here we go.
Riots have there been?
I don't know the
Is it
exact
one?
number.
Bring up foreign policy,
One
please.
But what are you
January 6th, which is a
classifying as
bad
a
one.
riot? What? Because if you're
Let's say-
Since I could talk about
protesting
foreign policy,
with
that would
rioting,
be
that's
really
a
bad for
very
him.
different
No,
thing.
we're talking specifically about people
Talk about his videos.
ransacking Tesla facilities, vehicles, charging
A
stations.
leftist
so obsessed
was
with
stealing
Tesla.
iPods
Why
from
don't we
Kmart.
actually talk
I
about?
think it might be
I mean,
because
I don't
someone
know
took
if
a
Musk,
rifle and
I
started
don't know if
shooting up a
Musk
building.
is like investing in your company or something, but let's like remove the Tesla out of it. That has nothing to do with what your actual prompt is saying.
No,
I like her
actually,
little
sounds-
flag.
No, it sounds a lot like
then you're
they're all-
arguing
you
something else.
decided. No, you're arguing something else because it
I am
sounds
arguing
like you
something
went
else from you.
somebody who was doing really important work in Occupy Wall Street to then
Which was what?
grifting all the way
No, I
to
wouldn't say that.
What was the
far-right
important work?
people. That's crazy.
He was
What was the
capturing
important
license
work?
plates and faces.
What important work?
You said
Literally.
In terms of Occupy Wall Street,
Yes.
I think, you know, in terms of that movement, I thought it was it was one of the first times in our generation that we were able to see an actual organization against capitalism.
Can I ask you how old you are?
No, you cannot
What?
ask me
Were you,
how
were
old
you
I am.
politically active during Occupy Wall Street?
Yes, I was.
Did you follow the news about me during Occupy Wall Street?
Not specifically.
And the news was that Occupy denounced the violence. I had filmed leftists deflating police tires who physically attacked me.
Yeah, you're a
And I was attacked by a masked individual smacking my camera out of his hand. Occupy
so this is a
Wall
personal
Street
vendetta for you?
then
because
gave me
a single
indeed,
person
if you're getting emotional about this and you don't want to have an argument, that's fine.
Do I look emotional, guys?
You do,
I feel pretty
because
relaxed.
you don't know what
Just be
happened during
emotional, why
Occupy,
not?
and your argument is off because you don't.
This honestly sounds like you have
pause,
a personal vendetta
pause.
from your history
Not an argument.
that has
Here.
absolutely nothing with what your
Not an
actual
argument.
prompt
You have to
is, which
pause
is
it here.
Not an
around
argument.
far-right people
pause.
being much more violent than the
argument.
left.
We have to pause. Love the passion, but pause.
She doesn't talk.
Thank you, plastic doll.
If you'd like to be the next debater, please get to the
Damn.
chair. And 3,
It is what it is.
2,
You gotta get rid of
1.
it at some point.
You got it. Nice to meet you. How's it going?
Good. I think we should just get to the heart of it. Donald Trump is a fascist.
Fuck
He
the Dodgers,
has
by the way.
Nazis in his administration. His entire
James loves the
messaging
Dodgers.
was resonating
don't.
with Nazis
fucking
from the very
Dodgers.
beginning. Donald
have a
Trump,
fucking- you have a
when
picture of him
rallying
on
for
your,
2024,
My
had a
granddad's.
massive rally in Madison Square Garden. What was the significance of that rally?
Oh, that's separate. That's
Show me.
Brooklyn. That's separate.
Yeah, it's the same place,
Yeah.
same date as the Nazis in the 1940s.
L.A. Go
Literally.
You
fuck
don't have to come to his
yourselves.
defense, Jordan.
Donald Trump
Thank you.
said that immigrants are poisoning the blood of America and their environment. Who also said that?
You tell me.
Hitler. Literally. Donald Trump has openly said things as dog whistles. So you may say that it's not mainstream, but the entire ideology of the right speaks to those people.
Let me ask you, what do you mean by fascist?
Far-right, authoritarian, ultra-nationalistic.
Andrew Wilson, right?
He's like that
14th
professor. What's his
fascism,
name?
all that.
But there's a specific definition of fascist. Do you just mean that he's an authoritarian?
No, I mean that he meets all 14 tenets of fascism.
Which is what?
You want to go through all 14 points?
I don't.
Tenets
I'm
of
trying to
fascism.
understand your argument. But
I've heard that before.
Talking about, yeah, Umberto Eco's 14, like.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, guys, this is fucking lame. It's fucking lame. Just say, yo, he's doing wrong shit. I don't like the wrong shit he's doing. Simple. Very simple. But instead it becomes textbook encyclopedia definitions of things. It's like, yo, fuck that, bro. This guy stomped the fucking puppy out. There's your problem right there. There it is. Look at that. That's the problem right there. Not you're breaking code 14
Yes.
of section law 27. Like what? Like no, that's wrong right there. That's fucked up. And be able to argue that. And we can't just do that shit. And in fact, people like Timmy and the way he argues things will move things that direction. Where it is like technicalities. Where you bring up warfare and it becomes like, well, that's legal under the law. It's okay. It's allowed. Right? The Congress gave him permission to blow people up. So you know what? It's okay. It's like, that's not how the idea of okay works. It isn't, a rule book thing. That's just your sensibilities, I would hope, and your logic attached to it. Same goes with 14 points of fascism. Same thing. Same phenomenon. Right? Sure, it's not, on a book somewhere saying like, okay, this is the official rule of things, right? But it's still written down fucking things that people are in my opinion at least, mind-numbingly running with without thinking about, hey, here's life in front of you. Here's a guy stomping out a fucking puppy. There you go. What else is needed? I need 14 points to show he's a fascist. Like, what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? And it gives nothing but Timmy. It gives Timmy room. He's stupid, right? He's gonna fuck it up, but it still gives him room that he could maybe learn one day and like take advantage of that room. If he does, maybe he does here. Who knows? Let's back up. All right, here we go.
He's an authoritarian?
No, I mean that he meets all 14 tenets of fascism.
Which is what?
You want to go through all 14 points?
I don't. I'm trying to understand your argument. But so my point largely is we see people say Trump is a fascist, but there's you know, if you go to an academic and you look at fascism, say Italy, there's a common argument that you have the merger of corporation and state as the defining element of what fascism is.
There's different forms of fascism, right?
Well, and that's the point. That's why
the actual premise is the authoritarian. Donald Trump is absolutely a fascist. He's, like I said, he has Nazis in his administration. I think we're shifting.
Stephen Miller.
Pete Hegseth.
How is Hegseth
He literally has a proud Nazi tattoo on his chest.
He does not.
Stephen Miller is absolutely a Nazi. Stephen
Hegseth
Miller
does not have a Nazi tattoo on his chest.
Yeah.
No, he does not. He has a Catholic cross on his chest.
Okay. All right. Cool.
He's not Jewish.
I mean, guys, look, I went to Catholic school when I was
little.
I left
Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller.
Yeah,
so Pete Hegseth is not a Nazi.
Yeah, that's okay.
He's Jewish. Yeah.
Question for you: when Donald Trump and his administration specifically actually implement policies that go at the heart of what Nazis want, right? Targeting the first group of people they target was the transgender community. Same things in Nazi. The actual Nazis specifically targeted people that weren't like them. There's been a persistent and consistent attack on undocumented immigrants, black people, women, anyone that's not a straight white male in America.
My principal claim is not that Donald Trump is innocent nor perfect nor good. My claim is that when you look at street level violence, domestic terror, etc., you'll find more violence coming from the mainstream left as opposed to the mainstream right.
Sure.
I do think it's fair to point out white supremacists are violent. They do evil and horrible things.
Yeah, I wanted to get
and
to that.
We all condemn them.
The white supremacists are a part of the mainstream right.
But they're not.
They literally are.
There's no circumstance
All right,
where you
we're
can
gonna
go
pause
on TV.
here.
Yeah, they got him out of here quickly.
Thank you. You can return to your seat. You've been voted out.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah, fuck the Dodgers.
How do you know those are not the
Be
Brooklyn
next debater,
Dodgers
please
shirt
get
that he's
to the
wearing?
chair in
His
3,
hat says
2,
LA on it, but that's
1.
okay.
Oh, never mind.
That was an easy grab. You're
I
right.
didn't see that.
So
My bad.
the first thing
My
I'll
bad.
say is I think it's a bit disingenuous to characterize all of the property damage committed during BLM as left-wing violence, because there are going to be rogue opportunists during the biggest civil rights protests in American history. That's first and foremost. The second thing I would like to say is I don't think it makes sense to confine political violence strictly in the context of individuals acting with political motive violently. I think it ignores institutional violence. Theoretically, you could say the 1960s civil rights movement was more violent than the counter-protesters, but obviously the institutional violence of segregation.
I completely agree.
Right. So, so what I would say is that the Republican Party is, and the mainstream political right is far more violent because they support ICE ripping and separating families from one another, even from people who have no criminal background.
Foreign policy, you idiots.
ICE,
Please,
deaths
someone
under
do
ICE
that.
custody has skyrocketed even as a matter of
So she gets to pick
war abroad, etc.
what they talk about.
I'd love to talk the war stuff. I'm a big foreign policy guy.
Like
But
they can only
domestic
address.
Did you hear that? No,
this
go back.
what happened during Barack Obama.
Sorry.
I heard that. I'm a big foreign policy guy, but the thing is, it'll apply to quote unquote both sides of mainstream left and right. It'll obviously apply to both of them, and that's why they both might dance around from the debaters to Timmy, right?
Yeah.
And that is very unfortunate and very boring and unserious, actually. If your problem is, hey, man, someone who has nothing to do with harming anyone gets shot in the head with a bullet, if that's part of your problem, there it is, right there. It's reported day in, day out. It's right there. And to not even go over that at all that means your conversation is actually very unserious when it comes to actually, like, I want to stop that from happening. A guy or a lady or a kid who has nothing to do with any type of violence towards people, and they're getting killed. If that's not part of the conversation, then we're not even having one then. Instead, it's fucking duck, duck, goose. Also, what happens if you're like the other side of Timmy, right? If you're behind Tim Pool right now.
Pause.
Yeah, pause.
Thank you.
If you're behind Tim Pool and you have to like race to the chair to get your opportunity, you're kind of at a disadvantage, man. Someone closer can just get there faster. I think buzzers should be their new gimmick. They should do instead. But even that could be rigged and fixed and stupid as well. So thus, their entire structure of things is fucking garbage that will work on kids. Anyways, here we go.
has skyrocketed even as a matter of
absolutely.
war abroad, etc. But
domestic, I'd love to talk the war stuff. I'm a big foreign policy guy, but domestically,
that's not on one of your claims. Then you should have made it.
It did, but not to the same extent.
Agreed.
And
what was the last part of that?
Did this not happen during Barack Obama's administration?
It did, but not to the same extent.
Agreed.
And Barack Obama was criticized for it by who? The political left.
Agreed.
Right.
So my point is not to say again that there's no violence on the right, and I think the institutional argument is actually a good one. However, my view largely is when you look at Occupy Wall Street, for which I was there and I watched police instigate fights, or when I was on the ground during the protests on West Florissant Avenue, and I saw police throw a flashbang grenade at protesters who were not doing anything violent. The issue is that these police are under Democrat administration still, where their chiefs are often appointed by Democrat politicians.
Finds a way.
So again, I understand the left and progressives.
That to me is also a little disingenuous because it's not as though the police, as a matter of its institution, is a left-wing institution.
No, it's
in fact, usually the police are protecting and are on the other side of left-wing protesters.
If you want to make the argument that ICE under Trump, I'll make the argument of police under the Democrats.
Sir, well, I don't.
You can literally tie that to foreign policy of like, hey, they move the same, right? And whether it's a Democrat person running, the governor of New York, right? When it comes to the first days of the Iraq War, right? And there's people protesting, right? But they're getting their fucking heads bashed in by police officers, right? If I change that Democrat in for a Republican, the same event's going to happen, most likely. Of once again, protesters with their heads fucking bashed in. Most likely. Which means it has nothing to do with left and right at that point. Which makes this entire proposition of that Timmy's saying here kind of stupid. Kind of really dumb. And not actually going towards an actual point for improvement. Like, hey, let's improve this by, changing this or taking this away or do something, whatever the fuck, right? They're not actually... That will not actually be approached by this premise that he's already set here. Because they're all doing it. Got it. They're all doing it. But, all right, here we go.
No, well...
Which is it? Does law enforcement defer to their politicians or not?
It depends. Because ICE is an executive agency, they do
and the police department in Minneapolis is under the Democrats. Yes,
right. But
and we all agree that there's problems there.
But they're criticized often on the other end of left-wing protesters. So, for instance, the protests against ICE here in Los Angeles, it's usually against left-wing. So, what is it? Left-on-left violence? Is that what you're claiming?
Sometimes, yes, absolutely.
You think police protesting against or committing violence against left-wing protesters? It's left-on-left violence, really?
Yes.
I think that's ridiculous and absurd.
The police who live in these cities tend to be more moderate, but they're not hard conservatives.
But is the institution is policing as an institution
particularly
a left-wing institution?
In New York, well, I define a left-wing institution.
Exactly.
What I would say is Democrat politicians are the ones appointing these police chiefs and these administrations who are enacting these policies.
But are they?
So when you're voting for someone into office, this is not conservatives doing it. It's not mainstream right-wingers putting in police that beat protesters.
But who politically supports the police as a matter of their rhetoric and ideology? The right or the left?
The right. But the right doesn't live in these places.
Yeah, but
nor do they appoint these people.
Sure, but
don't tell me that ICE under Donald Trump, but not police under Democratic politicians.
Hold on. The left doesn't appoint protesters who commit random acts of violence against property.
That's not my argument.
I know. But earlier you were making the case that it's the ideology that motivates what these rioters are doing, and that's the reason why the left is ultimately responsible.
What I would say is the underlying ideology is overlapping with the Democratic Party.
Sure, and so what I'm saying is that if you want to be consistent, the underlying ideology that supports the police and as a matter of institution, and when the police are cracking down on left-wing protesters, that's overwhelmingly on the side of conservatives.
Except they're not in power in these places, and you're applying a locality to the nation, which doesn't make sense.
They may not be like technically
the police
in power,
are not motivated by the Republican Party to go out under a Democratic mayor to arrest protesters.
The problem is that the police is still, as a matter of institution, is more of a right-wing institution than a left.
Certainly, even
they're
in
usually
Democratic
on the other side of.
But the point is, a police officer who goes out in New York and arrests a protester does so at the behest of a Democratic politician.
I don't think
it's true.
You've been.
The Democratic politician's like, yo, listen, random SWAT guy, go shoot that dude over there. It's like, come on. Come on, that's fucking stupid. Not to once again protect Democratic politicians anywhere. That's probably the trap that Timmy's going for. That shouldn't work, honestly, because it's fucking lame brain dumb shit. But yeah, that's asinine, I would say. Even like the idea of like, when did the phenomenon of, I guess, America realizing that cops fucking kill people was probably under Barack Obama, right? He was the president at the time, and I'm sure his aura flows down to these other politicians throughout the country.
Riz.
Yeah, his Riz. There you go. His sniz.
Whoa.
No whoa.
Oh.
Sure. It funnels down. It trickles down to those guys as well. So thus, I guess his whole premise is fucking horrendous. I'm like confused of like, how do you? Your premise is dumb fuck in the first place, kinda. Because we're leaving mainstream. Is it like the random police captain over here? Is that mainstream? That is cracking down on protesters or whatever the fuck they're doing, right? It's like, what? Explain that to me. It doesn't make sense to me at all. What they're arguing, or what he's arguing, at least. But all right, here we go. Here's more Duck Duck Goose from Jubilee. Here we go.
Voted out by the majority. Please
Nice meeting you.
And they copyright this travesty, by the way. They copyright it. Yeah.
All
Very
right,
weird.
if you'd like to be the next debater, please
Really?
get to the chair. And
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
What's up, young man? Listen.
Oh, yeah. I haven't been young for a minute.
Now, slow down with that. Listen,
Oh,
I
all
think
right.
it's
Oh,
really
shit.
quick. The I condemn is really cheap cop-out. That's not going to work.
It's not an argument.
Because the people around us are not
Sure it
like,
is.
An argument.
like your average viewer. It's important to recognize.
Make an argument.
So I'm about to.
You don't have one?
I'm
Is that it?
I'm
If you want
about
to be insults, we can go for insults. And
I'm about to.
We can rap.
I'm about to.
You wanna rap?
Just stop delaying my time.
can
So
take
it's
your
important to
beanie off.
recognize that a simply I condemn is not sufficient when the Republican Party has created a permission structure for individuals to go out and do violence
Like what?
against, I'm about to tell you, with
go.
impunity. Immigration and Customs Enforcement is a good example.
Law
Trump
enforcement.
Forgive me. I think a lot of these kids on here are angling for future careers. And this smells like one of them. He does not smell like a regular guy just arguing things. He sounds like my future's on CNN, destroying the guy across from me.
God.
It smells like that, dude. He smells like he made sure he had his best
Yeah.
breakfast today. Like get in there and fucking take him down. Get that win. That's what it smells like to me. Which should be worrying. But in the world of politics, do they even care about someone being real or authentic?
He had a boost for breakfast and insure
Yeah.
for dessert.
Shout out to Kanye's broken jaw. All right.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I'm about to.
You don't have one? Is that it? If you want to be insults, we can go for insults. And
I'm about to.
We can rap.
I'm about to.
You wanna rap?
Just stop delaying my time.
We can
So it's
rap,
important to
we can rap.
recognize that a simply I condemn is not sufficient when the Republican Party has created a permission structure for individuals to go out and do
Don't you
violence
smell like
against,
David Hogg
I'm about to
right
tell
here?
you, with
Let's go.
impunity. Immigration and Customs Enforcement is a good example.
Law
Trump
enforcement.
The Trump administration, they
So electoral process.
you know they
Seems like
lost
a
in the courts
tragedy to
10,000
get
times,
at.
right?
That's not true.
It is true. Politico actually released a
10,000
report on it.
times.
Yeah, they lost 10,000
I'm
times
sure it
in the
would be
last
like
year.
10,003.
They murdered numerous American citizens. And guess what happened to the individuals that carried out those killings? What happened to them?
What happened to him?
Have they been prosecuted? Any investigations? Do you know?
I believe they have not.
Why? It's almost as if when you commit violence,
You're wrong.
You're going to be protected. That's what's going on. That's why Kristi Noem went out and said that Alex Preddy was a domestic terrorist. That's why Stephen Miller said the same thing. And everybody in the entire Republican Party apparatus is echoing those talking points. Because whenever there's violence, they don't condemn it. They condone it, they congratulate it, and they pardon it.
Law enforcement, duly elected by a population that voted in plurality for ICE to go out and engage in these
Kill American
behaviors.
citizens?
Which sometimes, yes, absolutely. And,
Oh, they voted for ICE to kill American citizens, really? Yes.
and
Who said the average Republican? I don't think they're that crazy.
Who said the average?
Who said the average Republican? I don't think they're that crazy.
Yes.
Sorry.
I
What?
heard a lady about like, what?
It's like, thank you for the soundbite.
Excuse
Like, play it again.
This is what I voted for.
Sorry.
You'll hear the lady in the someone in the background is like, what?
What?
That's the sound guys. Probably did that on purpose. All right, here we go.
Kill American
behaviors,
citizens?
Which sometimes, yes, absolutely. And
Oh, they voted for ICE to kill American citizens, really?
yes. Do you?
The average Republican, I don't think they're that crazy.
Who said the average Republican would vote? But do you not believe that there are people in this country that would vote for ICE to harm people?
Is this your argument?
Do you believe?
This is terrible.
Americans?
So you think not a single person in this country wants to harm illegal immigrants?
What's the relevance? We're talking about the fact that there is a top-down approach by Republicans like Donald Trump.
Can I ask you the question again?
Can you answer the question? And allow it to happen, foment violence in this country.
Can you answer the question?
And you're running cover for it.
Actually, you just did.
No, I didn't.
See, I'm pointing out
ICE violence. You're saying that people vote for it or whatever.
You don't think that there are white supremacists voting for ICE to go and harm migrants?
Are you saying that white supremacists voted for Donald Trump so they could kill migrants?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good to know that white supremacists make up part of the Republican Party and Donald Trump's doing their bidding.
Yes, I certainly believe they do.
Okay.
The initial claim that I'm making is that there is absolutely violence on the right. I already agree with one of the previous debaters that there's institutional violence from the right as well. The best argument against my claim actually is that the right, when they get levers of power, will use law enforcement as their vehicle for the violence that they want to engage in. Those things are all fair. My point is that we are not
seeing... That's a nice, long, drawn-out concession. Thank you for...
But it's not a concession because maybe we agree.
Oh, okay.
See, I think...
Well, didn't you say the modern political left commits more violence than modern political right? So now you're saying...
Just because there are riots coming from the left does not mean they're morally right or wrong, or does not mean the right is better or worse. This is a statement about volume of violence that we see and a meaningful issue to a voter as to what is the underlying motivation that we see pushing violence in this country. So when you have ICE going out and engaging in these actions...
This is like a Clarence Thomas level of interpretation with that prompt. That is not what
I don't know why you're trying so hard to disagree when we actually have common ground.
Pause, we are out of time.
He's trying to he's trying to trick him.
Trash can shit. Fuck my life. Jubilee is actually, they're fucking garbage, man. They really are. But whatever. Yeah, so...
I'm so confused.
Well, it's Timmy trying to, he's doing like an Andrew Wilson thing, like trying to, Stefan Molyneux thing of like trying to dance around and make yourself sound correct. Okay. But I also look at the kid across from him too, where I'm like, huh, you smell like one of those guys. And he sounds like one of those guys. And it looks like he's behaving like one of those guys that are like, you know, on the high horse of mediocrity, but calling it, you know, the horse that Jesus rode in on, right? Like they're like doing that type of thing. Yeah. Good luck, because this guy's smile will slowly disappear too, because he'll have to defend some dumb fuck shit if he gets to where I think he's angling for. And Timmy's already done that, right? Timmy's already there. This is Timmy's sacrificial lamb routine. Like, yo, you're done, bro. You're here to get fucking cooked, and you're here to get fucking roasted and then leave and say I did it. All right. But don't worry, Timmy, you can't work at Walmart. Congratulations to you. You've made it, man. You can't work there anymore. All right, here we go. Keep flying. I guess a new topic. Let's see what it is. Here we go.
Thank you.
Oh my God, you won? Oh shit, sit down.
Nicotine, the ultimate biohacker secret weapon, has made a wild comeback. But why is that these to stop complementing nicotine with putting real pouches?
Who the fuck is
or use nicotine
as
stay away from
that.
If you
No, wait. The Democratic Party has embraced authoritarianism. I almost guarantee like that once again, foreign policy is just going to be missing again, isn't it? Although Timmy loves it, according to his own words. But
would love to talk about it sometime.
Hey,
just
maybe,
not right now.
Maybe one day we yeah. All right. Here we go.
My next surrounded claim is that the Democratic Party has embraced authoritarianism.
If you'd like to be the first debater, please get to the chair in 3, 2,
That's right, race.
1.
That was fast. Nice.
Yeah, like the other guys had no chance. They're on the other side of like the room. How can they like get over there that fast? What a beautiful structure. Unless it's all fake. Question mark.
Stop it.
There we go. Nice to meet you. Let's start off not by, oh God, don't make me defend Republicans, but let's go.
All right, let's talk about authoritarianism.
Yeah.
What does an authoritarian government do?
So it's typically, and particularly in my claim, it's a reference to suppression of dissent, suppression of speech, control of voting, or manipulation of voting for the power, for the, let's just call it control by a particular group of politically
Let's take those claims one at a time.
Yeah.
First, on suppression of speech.
Indeed.
Just a few hours ago today, Trump subpoenaed reporters for trying to report accurate information on the war in Iran.
Wow,
he said,
that's terrible.
No, that can't happen.
Awful.
Wow, that's terrible.
Way more authoritarian than what we're seeing.
I think
on
people
the
are
left
looking
here.
for careers.
Well, I mean, if it's hard to quantify what is more
Substance.
authoritarian, but certainly bad when President Trump is trying to stifle speech.
Wait, can you
But
give
you wanna-
any example of Biden doing anything even comparable to that?
I can. We can start with Alex Berenson, who is currently in a lawsuit because the Biden administration personally went to social media platforms using his name to be suspended for his reporting on COVID vaccination and mandates.
Okay. At a top level, though, who's doing the...
You're a bitch. That's him. That's Alex Marin. That's the same guy, right? I'm pretty sure. The Dave Smith debate. I think so.
It's Dave Smith's cousin?
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't mean that in an anti-Semitic way. I just mean like they probably went to the same Jewish camp. That's all.
Well,
Anyway.
you know, watching two fucking losers argue with each other was amazing to see.
Yeah.
Times have changed. Here we are.
Is that the guy he's referring to though? That's interesting.
Yeah. Alex Berenson, I believe.
Okay.
Where Dave Smith gave him credit for like, man, you're okay on COVID, man. Right now you're being
you were good on COVID. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're being like a fag, bro. That's what Dave Smith did to that guy.
You're being a fag.
I'm like, see, these are our fucking thinkers. Fuck me, dude. These are the ones we show up for. These are the fucking thinkers. But all right, let's play more of the annoying next door neighbor's kid.
You might have to
media
like do
platforms
an outro
use-
with the just at least the Tim part of the cartoon. I'm sorry.
Oh, I forgot to intro that. And by the way, I
You
should have.
intro that. Yeah.
All right, I might end it with that. Okay, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go.
Using his name to be suspended for his reporting on COVID vaccination and mandates.
Okay. At a top level, though, who's doing the majority of the like actual suppression of speech here?
I don't really have good words for the Republican Party, to be honest. My issue
Also,
with this debate is in fact.
Also, I can't look it up right now. Can one of you look it up and just send it to me so I can just play it easily instead of like searching through YouTube for it? Yeah.
Yeah. I'll put it in archives.
All right.
Hopefully it doesn't get reported by Peaches.
Oh my god.
But
all right, here we go.
I don't really have good words for the Republican Party, to be honest. My issue with this debate is in fact what we're seeing right now is that I'll make a claim about the Democratic Party, which has done awful things, and the immediate response is, but the Republicans, and I don't like Republicans.
Here's the thing. We live in a two-party system.
Correct.
Right? We can have this great grift of like, oh, well, the Democrats are bad, but we can, and the Republicans, they might be worse, but the Democrats are still bad. But the option is between Democrats or Republicans.
Yes.
So if Republicans are worse, it doesn't really matter if Democrats are slightly bad.
No, I think Democrats are worse.
We don't love Democrats, but we feel that Republicans are way worse when they institute these far more authoritarian policies.
It's hard to quantify more. The question is, does it suppress speech? And I certainly think Donald Trump has taken action.
I love consuming
Let's look at human lives. If we want to do like a quantification here, let's look at ICE. 3 American citizens have been killed by ICE. That's way more than the number of American citizens killed by immigration enforcement under, say, Obama.
But it's way less than the amount of American citizens killed by Barack Obama.
No,
it is. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Look. I don't want to be disrespectful, but one of the biggest issues to me is the extrajudicial assassination of Abdulrahman al-Awlaki by the Obama administration. And this is
wait. We're in the foreign policy. Let's go there. Let's go all the way there, please. And I think Timmy recognizes that this guy is CNN or MSNBC like clone brain, like his brain was 3D printed by these organizations potentially. So thus it's okay to say foreign policy because these guys will avoid that as well, right? Because it showcases like, damn, they all kind of suck, don't they? They're all kind of terrible. Sounds like that, at least. But all right, here we go.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Look. I don't want to be disrespectful, but one of the biggest issues to me is the extrajudicial assassination of Abdurrahman al-Awlaki by the Obama administration. And this is what, early on in my life, when I was very anti-war, very lefty, still anti-war, and voted for Barack Obama, and then he murdered.
Are you in favor of the war in Iran?
Absolutely not. And Barack Obama killed a 16-year-old American citizen who was at a civilian restaurant in Yemen.
We can play
These are
this
all
game.
bad
we can
things.
be like, oh well, both parties are pretty bad.
Trump killed
but
the daughter.
we have to.
Trump killed the daughter of that guy of Al-Awlaki. But all right, here we go.
Yeah.
But
then 123 schoolgirls right in the beginning of this war
Yes.
on February 28th or whenever it was.
Yes, and kids
Most
playing
recent thing.
volleyball, right, in Iran as well. Trump the apparatus that has Trump's name on it also blew them up as well because
Yeah.
volleyball
There was also
is very
that
dangerous. You know.
Telegram message, I guess, or Signal message group with JD Vance, like,
Yeah.
hell yeah, America, when they bombed some like apartment that the girlfriend of someone who was suspected to be Hezbollah or whatever the fuck was living in.
Yeah, that was in Yemen. Yeah, that was the
Or Yemen, sorry.
What's their fucking names?
I thought it was Lebanon. But yeah.
No.
You're
It was
probably
Yemen.
right.
It
It's
was
Yemen.
Yemen.
Mhm.
Supposed to be the Houthis, right? And they bombed an
Yeah, she's
entire
girlfriend?
apartment complex. Yes, because the guy was like, "Wait a minute, you saw he was on his way there." Once again, I'm not with
Yeah.
blowing people up at all. Anyone that is, I'm against that fully.
Yeah.
But by their own logic, if you're gonna bomb him, why not bomb him when he's like on his motorcycle, like on his way to the apartment? Instead, they like wait for him to get in there and then blow up the entire fucking complex. Like, these people are out of their fucking minds.
But this is the thing. Did he even enter the complex? I thought they just found out that like he was going there. So we don't they don't even know if he was.
Fair enough.
Yeah. It's even more sloppy. Like I don't know. It's just kind of weird. And then they have like a group message about it. At least as in terms of what they revealed to us, celebrating. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Ew.
It's kind of
This is crazy. You're like celebrating your murder.
Exactly.
Usually people go to jail for that.
Exactly. It's almost like a who cares scenario for these guys. And
Yeah,
it's
who
like,
gives a fuck?
that should be so
Who
troubling.
cares? Not me. Yeah.
But don't worry, Mr. Blue Shirt kid here is. Hey, well, what about
it's
what
literally
Trump
like mob.
did?
Yeah.
Like, yo, you guys do
It's
the
like
same
mob
shit.
shit. And it's not any different with Obama either. It's literally mob shit. Like
Exactly.
gangster shit.
I saw a bunch of fucking flags go up when Timmy brought up Obama doing, the Al-Awlaki killings and all that shit. Like, what's your point here? But you with the race flag, what's your point then? What are you upset about? Obama, he talks really good. Like, what's your actual fucking point? Like, do you have one? Or is it strictly actually Republican versus Democrat?
Might be.
All right, here we go.
Absolutely not. And Barack Obama killed a 16-year-old American
Okay.
citizen who was at a civilian restaurant in Yemen.
We can play
These are
this
all
game.
bad
we can be
things.
like, oh well, both parties are pretty bad. But like,
Indeed.
we have to when they go to the ballot office. When I go to the ballot office as a voter, I have to actually put in a vote. I have to decide Democrat or Republican or throw my vote away and vote for some third party.
Libertarian.
If I'm picking between those and there's one candidate who just brought us into a war in Iran, is causing this massive conflict, tons of human suffering, that's foreign. That's foreign policy. Domestically, we see ICE attacks on American citizens. We see 56 people dying in ICE detention camps in just a singular year. You compare that to under Obama, the deporter-in-chief. Across
Indeed.
8 years, 52 people died. Way, way, way fewer. What we're seeing is dangerous
only
conditions
52. Who
domestically.
cares about them?
Way more people
It's
are dying.
52.
Right? We have
It's
a lot of this
less.
like qualitative discussion. You bring
cares
up a
about
lot
their
of
family,
anecdotes,
their suffering?
But if you
Who
actually
cares?
quantify the number of deaths that are occurring through these authoritarian mechanisms, it's very, very clear that when I vote, I'm choosing the lesser of two evils and voting Democrat.
Let's talk about a few structures.
Okay,
on our
I'll be
list.
honest,
Been
I'm gonna
succumbed to
skip.
Trump. Things were happening under. We're given a permit. I was Donald Trump.
Fucking Junior.
Skip to the end.
Get Junior out of here.
For what being suppressed about it.
Syrianism, Lutheran example. Shoot a Syrian, not with it.
He's getting the most time. Like, what is that?
You made it. I'm surprised you made it.
So one of the key parts about authoritarianism is influence over elections. And
Agreed.
we've seen that...
Okay, next topic. I no patience for this right now. These are extreme
You
idiots.
should have listened to people who told you.
All right. Okay. The United States is tracking towards civil war. The Constitution effectively does not exist anymore. Okay. In 2026, all moderates are cowards. I guess this is where he storms off at some point, right?
No, it's the Civil War.
Wait. No, wait. Does he leave and come back? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's toward the end, right?
I went to the last topic, right? All moderates are cowards.
Okay,
Is the last one I see here for timestamp?
I thought it was the other one.
If it's about Civil War, that's at the 50-minute mark, which is earlier on, which means I assume he stays there. You know.
Try that real quick, because I don't know where it is. I just know where he reacted to it on his show.
Okay.
And Kyle did a video on it. Yeah.
Maybe we go there then. I don't know. Maybe he leaves and comes back. I don't fucking know.
It's possible.
All right, here we go.
Surrounded claim is that the United States is tracking towards a civil war.
If you'd like to be the first debater, please head to the chair in 3.
Even the way he says that.
1.
Damn, so this guy.
Welcome back.
Because he's a fast kid.
You miss me?
So,
listen, I think that we are getting closer towards a peak of civil unrest.
Sorry, it's lagging. Real fast.
The guy he storms off at, it wasn't this, it was the other. If you want to fast forward, I can tell you which guy it was.
Okay. This guy gets
Yeah, it was that guy. Yeah, the second guy.
Oh, okay. He gets a second chance with him as well. Okay.
What's going on? I guess you can just play it. Yeah, whatever. Oh, hello.
I don't know who tagged you, but go away.
Hey, just a record.
Hey,
I was someone, but
nice.
Seb's never tagged me or messaged me.
I know she tagged you. It's okay.
Although yesterday, it was so funny. Is James here? James, really quick. Yesterday, I came back into the VC, and Jordan said something really nasty about K to the C, like just randomly. He's crazy. And all of a sudden, K to the C just appears out of nowhere. And he's like, what the fuck? Like, why are you here? Did you message him? I'm like, I literally didn't.
After you DM'd him, he showed up. Got it.
No, I didn't.
Pretty simple.
Because you were complaining about watching. Oh, no, because, okay, he was watching baseball, and I said, I thought you guys were boycotting baseball. It's like, oh, that doesn't count if it's Sunday. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. And you were like, I'm not like K to the C, something, WWE, Brock Lesnar. And maybe like 2 seconds.
That's him, actually, by the way. That's not me. He does that. He says, wrestling,
Yes.
wrestling, Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley. And then I'm like, get this fucking
Sunday Night
get this kid away from me.
SmackDown, Monday Night
Hey,
Slam.
you hear that? Sunday Night SmackDown. You heard that, right? That's your friend, by the way. Your friend. Ignore her DMs. Don't show up when she tells you to.
James is not even
Make
here.
it organic.
Well, at least your YouTube audience heard it.
Hey,
That's my
James.
story. It was mostly to annoy James, but he's not here.
I was going to tell James about the fact that I finally got on my PS3 and booted up SmackDown vs. Raw 2008.
Yeah, please do tell him about that. I think he'd
I
love
was
to
going
hear.
to tell him who I first played as soon as I booted up that game.
Well, K2C, just
definitely interested in that topic.
just DM him like Sebs does to you, right? Just DM him. Send a message, like tag him in it, something like that. Do that instead, like Sebs does with you. Perfect. It works perfectly. Anyways, let's play. There we go.
And doing research before you come to a place like this.
If you'd like to be the next debater, please head to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back.
Damn.
Good to see you again.
Great to see you again.
Yeah.
First time we talked about this was in 2019, so it's been quite a while.
I think it was
since
before
you've
that,
been
actually.
calling for civil war.
I've never called for civil war.
Or not calling for, I'm sorry, said that we're on
Important
the brink
distinction.
of civil war.
And what was the citation I had for when I said that?
I would love you to
It was
tell
The
me.
Atlantic. Okay. And it was a journalist who interviewed several national security experts who said that there is a range of opinions in the national security space that the U.S. is trending towards a civil war. Notably, that when you cite people like Stephen Marsh, journalist, as well as Barbara F. Walter, former CIA, the U.S. academics describe the period that we're in as civil strife, meaning there's a criteria of death that has occurred for political reasons over the past year or years, for which the next phase would be civil war. However, we'll make my point, tracking towards it, I've not said that it will happen, although there's been many people who have said that we are in a cold civil war or some kind of cultural civil war. I always caveat, because I don't actually have a strong prediction.
First of all, you do have a strong prediction if you've been saying this since 2019. There's 42,
reading articles about
people
it,
can look this up, there's 42 of your titles that have the word civil war in it.
Correct.
With big fonts on the front.
They sure do.
So why is that? It's sensationalist.
Correct.
It's easy to get
Sure
clicks
do.
on that. There's a reason why you say it, because it's very profitable for your business.
Not necessarily.
But
We have 1,600 episodes of just IRL.
There comes a point where people stop taking your predictions seriously.
Are you going to make an argument, or are you mad at me?
I'm not mad at you.
Okay, then let's make an argument about whether or not we are tracking. No. If you're making an argument, you don't like my thumbnails, or you try to say my name over and over again.
I'm saying that you say bullshit in order to get money. But what I really think is,
let me ask you
the predictions.
Let me ask you a question you can't answer.
I will agree with you that there's increased polarization. I would attribute a lot of that to people being specifically online.
Let me ask.
There's a lot less interaction with people that are in different camps.
Let me ask you a question.
But you're going to sit here and tell me that we're way more polarized than Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr, who shot each other with their disagreements. You're going to tell me that Andrew Jackson, who's the sitting president,
do you want to have a conversation, or are you just going to be angry?
Polarization?
Why was Aaron Danielson shot in the chest twice?
Sorry?
Why was Aaron Danielson shot in the chest twice?
I'm not disagreeing that political violence is taking place in question.
You say Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr, but then when I ask you a question about an assassination, you defer.
You can say that
Let me
there's
ask you
a
a
civil war every fucking year and it doesn't happen. And
I
you're gonna
never
say,
said
it just
there
hasn't
was.
happened yet.
Let me ask you a
Or
question.
if it does happen, you say, see, I've had it all
Let me
along.
ask you a question.
It doesn't even. You're going to say,
just on those words, it's going to be because Timmy was selling the idea, which was being said way back then when he was starting to do that stuff. Okay, you're going to be selling the idea versus reporting on it, right? You're cherry picking articles or stories to lean towards the idea. Oh my God, civil war is on the precipice. It's right here. It's outside your door right now, and the left is driving it. But all right, here we go.
Sensationalist. It's easy to get clicks on that. There's a reason why you say it, because it's very profitable for your business.
Not necessarily.
But
we have 1,600 episodes of just IRL.
There comes a point where people stop taking your predictions seriously.
Are you going to make an argument, or are you mad at me?
I'm not mad at you.
Okay, then let's make an argument about whether or not we are tracking. No. If you're making an argument, you don't like my thumbnails, or you try to say my name over and over again.
I'm saying that you say bullshit in order to get money. But what I really think is,
let me ask you a
the
question.
predictions.
Let me ask you a question you can't answer.
I will agree with you that there's increased polarization. I would attribute a lot of that to people being specifically online.
Let me ask.
There's a lot less interaction with people that are in different camps.
Let me ask you a question.
But you're going to sit here and tell me that we're way more polarized than Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr, who shot each other with their disagreements. You're going to tell me that Andrew Jackson, who's the sitting president,
do you want to have a conversation, or are you just going to be angry?
Polarization.
Why was Aaron Danielson shot in the chest twice?
Sorry?
Why was Aaron Danielson shot in the chest twice?
I'm not disagreeing that political violence is taking place in question.
You say Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr, but then when I ask you a question about an assassination, you defer.
You can say that
Let me
there's
ask you
a
a question.
civil war every fucking year and it doesn't happen. And
I
you're gonna
never
say,
said
it just
there
hasn't
was.
happened yet.
Let me ask you a
Or
question.
if it does happen, you say, see, I've had it all
Let me
along.
ask you a
You
question.
are the same thing as
Let
the
me
Christian
ask
rapture
you
people
a
who say
question.
that the rapture's coming every fucking year.
And when
it doesn't happen,
do you want a soapbox? Do you want me to get you a soapbox?
It's really
I can leave.
easy.
You want me to
It's
go?
really easy to do what you do. It's really easy to do what you do.
Hold the fuck up,
say, Civil War is happening next year. Civil War is happening next year. It's coming. Make sure you subscribe to Timcast. Continue to watch my videos, please. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. It's easy to do what you do, bro.
That is not a lie. For what you see Timmy do. But
really,
it's still when I get theatrical style thingy. Fair enough. Okay, let's move on. Okay, I saw the rage quit there.
well, Timmy has an explanation. We didn't really get to watch it, but he made a video about it.
Well, I'm already here. There.
Perfect.
The episode of
sorry, I forgot
Surrounded
that
on
I
Jubilee,
told you.
starring me,
I mean,
is out now
earlier.
on Jubilee's channel, and oh boy, are the clips
haven't watched
running
this yet,
wild. With one of the most notable going viral on X, that Tim Pool rage quits, storming out of debate after he's accused of grifting in heated exchange. Actually, I don't know if I have the video pulled up. Let me pull up the video for you guys. I'll play it. Of course, I recommend you guys watch the full thing. I don't know to what extent they edited any of the conversations. I can tell you quite a bit.
Just like when he touches his
about,
shirt, he did it
about how it was done. And some of the critiques I have. And what I will say off the bat is my only regret
is James's fault that I noticed.
I should have shaved. But I've got this clip. I don't know if they have the timestamp actually on when I got up and walked out. Let me click Mediaites real quick.
3, 2.
Well, they just I think they just jumped right to the 140 mark. But we have the clip here, and I'll just play. It's a minute long. My next surrounded claim is that the United States is tracking towards a civil war.
There's 42 of your titles that have the word civil war in it.
Correct.
With big fonts on the front.
They sure do.
So why is that? It's sensationalist. It's easy to get clicks on that. There's a reason why you say it, because it's very profitable for your business.
Not necessarily. But we have 1,600 episodes of just IRL.
There comes a point where people stop taking your predictions seriously.
Are you going to make an argument, or are you mad at me?
I'm not mad at you.
Okay, then let's make an argument about whether or not we are tracking. So no. If you're making an argument, you don't like my thumbnails, or you say my name over and over again.
I'm saying that you say bullshit in order to get money. But what?
Okay, so here's something important to consider. First, I'll just answer the claim, or his statement about we say civil war. There's 42 of your thumbnails that say civil war. Oh my! Oh, let's start from the beginning. Since about 2019, my response is, of course, when the news reports on a fear of a civil war in the United States, we cover it. Like, this show is all about news. The funny thing is, they could point out that probably 724 have Donald Trump in the thumbnails. But they don't bring that up, even though that's also somewhat sensationalist, hyper-focused on just politics, which I critique a lot of people for. But I will say this. We have 1,580 episodes of Timcast IRL. We then do 5 clips per day, which means that we probably have 5,000 thumbnails for the show. And then we have the Tim Pool Daily News, this channel right here. And then, of course,
you have Tim Pool's 8 different channels, which is a gamer strategy. Gamers, like, with their content, the same fucking strategy of get people to watch the same thing.
No,
but like
YouTubers do that too,
3
Jordan.
times.
Because you have to be consistent on like one niche for you to be suggested in the algorithm or something. So you have to have different channels to discuss different types of topics, or to do different kinds of content. Apparently, that's something that I heard FD Signifier talking about that in terms of why he has the B-sides and the does topical things. So.
Well,
yeah,
I've seen, once again, they're getting this. They're getting it from gamers. Gamers were doing this for a while now, of having second, third
YouTubers have been doing that
channels.
for a while too.
Yes, but I think gamers made it like quite famous.
I think you just attribute a lot of things to gamers, but like not everything was adopted from.
Oh, fair enough. But they're the kings of like clean content with no politics in it. They just want to make money from viewership, right? So thus they make second, third, fourth channels for the sake of a lot of times it's people watching the same video just like two or three different times, and thus that's 3 views. It's like all together, right? 3 different channels, 3 views individually, right? Versus like same user like going back to one video again. That still counts as like 1, I think, when it comes to YouTube's or Google's, algorithm thing or whatever the fuck, right? Their calculation of views and data. And thus that's why it's for those guys like, let's make like 2 or 3 channels. Here's Yellow Brick Road. Here's more Yellow Brick Road. Here's a separate channel called More Yellow Brick Road. Same video, just maybe we chop it up more, right? Or same topic and just repeat it again, the same point of view again. I think it's tacky, but those guys make money off of doing that. And I think Timmy has 8 different fucking channels for a reason. I think that's part of it.
Mhm.
At least part of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure I think other people are doing it too, but I mostly noticed
Just from what I've
from
seen, because
gaming.
I don't really keep to the gaming. It's interesting to see a lot of parallels in terms of what I've seen around.
Top content. That's the aim, probably, is is to win the audience, kind of. That's what I've noticed with the
Oh,
gamers.
certainly.
Except for Doc, apparently, he makes fun of them for doing that. All right, anyways, all right, let's apply. There we go.
It's the Timcast channel, the first channel I did,
Also,
which is
Gaping Mouth
usually one video at
thumbnails.
4 p.m. plus some debates. All in all, my friends, there may be about 15,000 thumbnails that we have made over the past decade. Yeah, it's been 10 years.
Did you make
and
it?
42 of them!
Or did you generate
say
it?
Civil War.
Big difference.
Bravo! Good argument, I guess. But here's the point.
Good argument, I guess.
There's a few things to point out as to the rage quitting. The first thing I'm going to say is that, well, there's some things I'd like to say, but I'll be nice
That
to
wasn't a
Jubilee
bad
for now.
Trump impression.
We'll see how things go.
No, I'm sorry. He's trying to deflect from whatever he's trying to say.
I know.
I'm
just saying,
sorry,
the
I just
sound,
can't.
though, it didn't sound like the worst Trump impression right there. Okay. Good for you, Timmy.
Great. So happy for him.
Good luck with the rest of existence, though, Timmy. But that was a decent impression for that.
I don't
2
think it was
seconds.
actually, personally.
That wasn't that
Go
good
back,
to
let
you?
me hear it again. Let me hear it again.
There we go.
The first thing I'm going to say is that, well, there's some things I quit Civil War.
There we go.
Bravo! Good argument, I guess.
The first one's
But here's
trash.
the
The
point.
second one's not bad.
There's a few things to point out as to the rage quitting. The first
The
thing I'm
second one's
gonna say
not bad.
It's okay.
The second one's not bad.
Okay, it was fine. I just can't. I don't know. I just can't see it. I literally can't. Makes me sick. Go ahead.
There we go.
is that, well, there's some things I'd like to say, but I'll be nice to Jubilee for now. We'll see how things go. They were actually very nice. I think they were very fair.
And they paid you well,
I didn't have
probably.
any hard demands. I just said, sure, you know. They covered only a small portion of travel. I didn't ask for any money or anything like this.
Oh, you
They
did it
just
for
hit
free?
me up and said, if you ever wanted to come on, we'd love to have you. And I said, I'm going to be in Vegas. We can drive down. And we drove.
Wait. I don't trust them. Okay. They paid for travel. I mean, that's called money laundering. I believe there's a term for that. Just saying, like, a possibility where it's like, okay, listen, it's, $4 a gallon for your gas, right? Driving 100 miles, right? Okay, got it.
From where? From West Virginia to
I'm making it up,
Las Vegas?
I'm making up numbers. Like, well, it could be $400.
Yeah, no, but that's true. If he drove down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be $400, in total.
He'll
of
be like,
gas.
I drive a Tesla. It's energy.
Well, like, instead of paying
I drive a
$400,
Tesla, bitch.
they pay you $10,000 instead. Here's $10,000. Show up on our fucking channel and risk your fucking reputation. Your, unfortunately gained reputation. Risk that from some unknowns, right? From people that no one knows, to destroy you for content's sake. It wouldn't be worth it financially for a guy like Timmy, right? Who thinks that way. So thus, I assume the gas, the travel paid for was a lot more than what it actually cost to travel that far. But then again, that's just me guessing as a possibility. Here we go.
It makes sense for this guy, especially judging by the kind of people that he, does business with, and the funding and where it comes from.
Yeah. Hey, if it
And
ain't,
then he calls himself a victim. He says he was a victim of getting paid $100,000 a week. Crazy ass victimhood.
hey, if he's not just like straight up like money stuff, like money financials, like being paid to him. If that's not the case, that means he's probably desperate for audience. So thus, keep my name relevant by doing shit like this. If he's not like getting like hardcore paid from it, that's my guess.
Yeah, that's a good point. Fair.
Potentially, but Either way. All right, here we go.
Gets to LA. It was very fun. And then I shut up. They asked me how I wanted to be billed. And I said, honestly, I don't know. Look, if you call me a conservative, conservatives get mad. If you call me a liberal, liberals get mad. And they're like, you can just put Tim Pool. And like, how do you describe yourself? And I said, I like politically moderate, I guess. And they're like, sure, whatever. And then, so they put 1 moderate versus 20 progressives. And I think if you actually watch it, you're like, yeah, Tim Pool's actually kind of a moderate. At one point, one dude sits down and he's like, if we agree on so much, why are you here? And I said, I suppose that's a question for production. I don't know if it's in there because I imagine they might have been like, let's not put that one in there. But let's talk about the rage. The rage quit, they call it. Tim Mason says rage quits. The first thing I'm going to say just before I press play is, guys, it's all fake. And I'll explain in a second. But let me just explain.
Unfortunately, we have.
Like Mason's putting this title out, Tim Pool rage quits when he's called out for grifting. Dude, I don't ham it up that much. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the guy.
Mason knows it's fake. It's all fake. Watch. Let me ask you a question.
The predictions.
Let me ask you a question you can't
I will
answer.
agree with you that there's increased polarization. I would attribute a lot of that to people being specifically online.
Let me ask you.
There's a lot less interaction with people that are in different camps.
Let me you defer.
You can say that
Let me
there's
ask you a
civil
question.
war every fucking year and it doesn't happen. And
I
you're gonna
never
say,
said
it just
there
hasn't
was.
happened yet.
Let me ask you a
Or
question.
if it does happen, you say, see, I've had it all
Let me
along.
ask you a
You
question.
are the same thing as like the
Let me
Christian rapture
ask you
people
a
who say
question.
that
How many times now have I said, let me
the
ask you a
rapture's
question?
coming every fucking year,
Are
and
you-
when it doesn't happen,
do you want a
it's like, oh,
soapbox?
it's
Do you want me to get you a
I'm just saying,
soapbox?
it's really
I can leave.
easy.
You want me to-
It's really easy to
You want me to
do
leave?
what you do.
You want me to
It's
leave?
really easy to do what you do. Like you literally just say, the Civil War is happening next year. Civil War is happening next year. It's coming. Make sure you subscribe to Timcast. Continue
Bro,
to watch
you
my
guys voted
videos,
out,
please.
so
follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. It's easy to do what you.
So I'll say the rules of Surrounded. The individuals who are showing up are not to know who will be there. I don't know why they do this.
What? What? The guys there don't know who's showing up.
I guess
That's
they're just there to
off.
argue.
I mean, like that's blatantly like bullshit to me.
Doesn't really make sense, right?
Yeah, that doesn't sound real at all. Like that, there's no way. Yes, the guy with the beanie, like as like a troll towards.
Because how would he
to be
have that,
cool.
right? Well, I guess he could have just had it.
Yeah, he could have just had a beanie, but still.
In the summertime. Yeah.
I
I'm
don't
just
I don't buy
saying.
that one. I don't buy that. It smells. Shout out to Edley. Sounds fake as fuck. Once again, the Jubilee guys, whoever runs that, I'm like, yo, this is for fucking children, and it smells fakery. A lot of fakery. But yeah, you know, I guess good content for people to watch. There we go.
But I thought it was a good idea. Actually, I was talking to the producers and I said, you know, we're going over like claims that I want to make. And I said, honestly, I don't have any like particularly strong claims. They're all, you know, fairly weak. But I do think there's 4 claims. First, I don't know what order they put them in because they're not filmed in order. And I told them like this order makes most sense because if I say one claim that leads to another, but you reverse the order, it's going to be weird when someone says, remember when you said X, and then, you know, so. The first claim is that mainstream political left commits more violence than the mainstream political right. I believe that speaks for itself. The second claim is that the Democratic Party has embraced authoritarianism. The Constitution effectively does not exist at this point.
It speaks for itself.
That all of this
No
is
explanation needed, according
and
to
so,
me.
In that order. Now, I told them outright when we were preparing for this, if you bring these claims to any of these individuals, they will know outright it's Tim Pool. Like, there's nobody else who's going to be having this through line. And they were like, that's that.
What? Because they saw the topics? Is that the idea he's saying? They see his topics?
Yeah, he's saying they're going to know it's Tim Pool. So these people were prepared.
Timmy.
Wait. So is he trying to say people were prepared? Because they knew it was me. That's funny.
He goes from
This is a coordinated attack.
He goes from like I'm moderate, my ideas are like kind of weak, to they'll hear these ideas like, oh, that's definitely Tim Pool. Apparently, is the logic he just navigated right there.
And he can explain away the beanie because people are gonna be like, well, how did he know? How did he have the beanie? He's gonna be like, because he knew it was me. They had props.
My hard-hitting ideas is definitely Tim Pool. That's probably like that'd be like him like thinking too like highly of himself, maybe. Of like, oh my god, what a voice, right? A voice of a unique voice in the times we live in. Is he viewing it that way? Potentially, right? It's like, yeah, Timmy, that's ridiculous. But yeah, all right. Okay, let me reset real fast. There we go.
That's not how we do the show. We've got there's like a network of progressives, conservatives, moderates, and like they have like they have people that they know. I don't know how they do it, but they've got their Rolodex, right? And they said they're given general points such as you'll be like they don't tell you the claims outright. So in fact, there was one guy who said that he was actually prepared to debate on the issue of foreign policy in Israel, and then he showed up and it was Glenn Greenwald, who he completely agrees with and is a big fan of, and was like, well, that's awkward, right? It's like, how am I going to debate a guy who I actually agree with? I didn't realize. And so they get progressives, and my understanding, at least as was explained to me, here are the rules. And I'm like, literally, bro, you can sit me down in front of anybody. They can say whatever they want. That was told, they will not know it is you, nor will we give them any key information about what you're going to argue. They'll have a general understanding they're arguing a moderate with concerns on left-wing violence.
That's bullshit.
And, on the state of politics.
And
that's about it. But Homeboy brought a beanie, indicating that he was tipped off as to who he was going to be debating.
I fucking knew it.
And,
Just explain the beanie. I fucking knew it. I swear to God, I did not watch this.
I had already said outright, like, guys, I'm going to say it again. It's all fake. They knew full well. I said, hey, I've seen like the Ben Shapiro when the dude, the trans man, flips the chair around and then just yells at Ben Shapiro. I'm not going to sit there for that. If it comes to a point where someone is pulling a stunt for a clip, I'm going to get up and walk off. So here's what happened. Dude starts pulling the stunt. I actually offered a couple people soapboxes. I said, do you want a soapbox? Because we're not having a conversation here, right? I thought you want to have a debate. And look, like they're red flagging him.
So mad.
So I stand up. I walk to the camera and then stand, waiting for him to finish, and then walked back and sat down all in the span of about 10 seconds. Everybody then afterwards chuckled because it's fake. Everybody knows I'm not leaving. I don't know if I don't think any of the progressives knew that I was going to get up and walk off if they pulled a stunt. But I had said to some of the people working the show, like, I'm not going to sit there if they want to do a stunt. They can do the stunt. I'll leave. I'll come back. And then, so I did.
We're giving Timmy
but I want to just stress
right
this.
What is this?
He pre-planned the stunt with the beanie in his pocket. Now, I do take somewhat issue because I was informed they would not know who was going to be there. That being said as well, we smiled, we shook hands. I said it was really great. If you want to, we'll have you on the show whenever. Afterwards, we hung out with a few of the people. We did some post-mortem interviews. And then as we were leaving, I said, just feel free to reach out. We'd love to have you guys on the show at any time. It was great. So I guess ultimately my point is,
maybe I'm biased.
There's no intention, in my view, for this show of being an actual conversation. And I knew that. And I'll tell you my thought process on. I laughed. Like, I got up and walked off, and I was chuckling.
From this.
And the general feel for everything was like, that was a really great stunt. Like, basically, the view is among everybody involved. Mason, I don't know. I'm kind of miffed that I was told they would not know it was me, but then he prepared a stunt specifically for me. I don't really care all that much because I told him I'll basically play into it. Him pulling up the beanie and me storming off was not written down, but we all kind of knew what we were doing, right? Like, let me put it like this. I know full well, guys, that if he just...
Wait. That'd be my guess, just from the like the art of it, like the style of it, right? I don't know. I'm like watching a movie or a TV show thing where it's like, damn, this is like hitting those notes. And Timmy's actually saying that. Interestingly enough, he's actually saying that.
Yeah.
But all right, when I'm done like watching him, I'm gonna show like one tweet that kind of captures, once again, laced with a lot of like religious iconography, which I do too, right? I say devil worshippers all the time. But I think it like captures like, hey, if you're like for real and you watch Timmy's, like anything from Timmy, right? Watch his show or his statements, his tweets, whatever the fuck, right? Like you should have like this fucking energy when you walk in there, in my humble opinion. But I'll save that for the end. Let's play a little bit more until I'm tired of hearing Timmy. Here we go.
Yeah, I haven't heard this yet, so this is very interesting. He's actually explaining away. Yeah. Okay.
It's all fake.
Go ahead.
All right, here we go.
We all kind of knew. It's like, okay.
Here we go.
Did that, and I sat there, it would not be the same, and no one would really care. They'd be like, haha, Tim got clowned, and it wouldn't get 4.4 million views. I knew that the moment I was like, look, if someone's going to pull a stunt, I'm going to walk off, and it's going to go viral. That's the truth.
You're thinking of views?
And, I will say, to a certain degree, I didn't, if they're going to pull stunts, and some of them did, I didn't like that they had a planned stage WWE stunt ready to go when they weren't supposed to know I was going to be there. I suppose the argument he'll make is, no, I just happened to have had the beanie when it was 90 plus degrees out and the AC was off and I was sweating.
Fuck. Wow.
And you're like, Tim, take off the beanie. Don't wear it. I'm like, you know what I do. It's like, I wear the same clothes for a year and then I change them one time. And, we'll see what I look like come October. But for him to actually have bought a beanie in the summer in 90-degree weather, I'm like, yeah, someone tipped him off and they prepared this in advance. So I had told some of them, should you guys do any moves like that, because I've seen you go for these viral clips, I'm going to get up and walk off. And there's a couple reasons. One, I'm not going to just sit there and let someone play some stupid WWD. It's disrespectful.
You just said
or whatever.
it would go viral.
Knowing full
That's
well
your
it's
main
meant to be
reason,
TV.
is what I heard.
But for the balance of what the TV show is meant to be, I'm going to walk off and be like, I won't stand for this.
For the balance,
you know what I mean?
of the TV show, which is...
It's half true.
Yeah, you're just thinking of the story.
When Ben was there and that trans person spun the chair around and just started berating him, my attitude is like, it goes viral, but Ben doesn't get anything out of it. Ben is just meant to sit there as he gets berated, and this becomes red meat for progressives. Well, I'm not going to sit there and just take it. That's not my character. That's not who I am. That's not what I would do.
Jubilee is? Okay.
And so, knowing full well that this is very WWE, I'm gonna play it both ways. You do your stunt, I do mine.
Such a cope.
You pretend to be me.
This is a cope. I'm sorry.
That is what it is. What I will say is, as to like the claims and like what ultimately came about with the show, for the most part, the debate's just not real. Like, these people don't know what they're talking about. The real intention of most of these people.
Nope, Timmy, nope. You can't do that one right there. You could call it fake, and that these guys were like, setting up things in advance or whatever the fuck, right? To kind of own you or some shit like that. But you can't say like, oh, their arguments are so bad and mine are so good. Like, you can't do that. You can't do that one. Sorry, Timmy. That's a no bounds for you. But all right. Okay. All right. Here we go.
People is
you can't
this.
do that to me.
And it's why I had said in the past, like, I'm not interested in Surrounded. And this is no disrespect to Jubilee guys, because I want to tell you guys, I feel really bad because the Jubilee guys, like, they actually tried really hard. They were very fair to me. And they tried really hard to make it a real debate. And there's even some, like, I don't want to say too much about the production process. That's their business.
Debate.
But there's like a guy being like, guys, like, debate. Like, I think the Jubilee guys know full well it's very WWE, but they're like they're trying to get a real conversation, and so they tolerate a bit of this knowing it's good, just like I tolerate a bit of it knowing it's good. But the Jubilee guys, I did another one with them recently. I don't know how much they want me to say about it until there's like 2 more shows coming out, and I think they're very professional, very middle of the road. I know a lot of people say they're liberals, but they're like default liberal. They're not raging lunatics. They weren't like, F you, you fascists. They were like, yeah, no, like, thanks for coming. It's very straightforward media stuff. And
it was a business deal. Just call it what it is to me. They're very cordial. They left me like, bread in butter before the meal came out. Very cordial. Just say that. Or sorry, call it what it is. Let's do that instead. But all right, here we go.
And I had a blast. Afterwards, there's like one guy that I think I didn't get along with, and he was just nasty. But Mason was really cool to us, and afterwards I was like, bro, like come on the show. We had a lot of fun.
Which guy?
What I will just say is,
he said this guy with the beanie act.
Oh, this guy.
Oh, it's like all of a sudden he's like, yeah, Timmy, I love your stuff, man. Love to come on the show, Well, he was arguing kind of hard. Like he had at least that we saw, right? Two different arguments or two different topics of arguments.
Well, he's just that you're a grifter. You're just like you're a whore. You're a slut.
And I'd love to listen. What's
You
your
dance for money.
what's your socials? Kind of we'd DM and yo, wait a minute. I thought Mr. Revolutionary was here to take down the grifter of Tim Pool. But wait, the cameras turn off and all of a sudden something different happens. And it's like, you're all a bunch of fucking losers. Losers. Once again, I'm going to show that fucking tweet of see this thing right here? These guys are nowhere fucking close to it. From the fighters against Timmy Pool to Timmy Pool himself. Nowhere fucking close. And thus, we're stuck on escalators, I guess.
Oh yeah, because his fighters are who? Emma Vigeland, Majority Report.
Yeah.
Kyle.
Our heroes.
Those are the ones he acknowledges. Yeah.
Hey, fair enough. All right, here we go.
Just what I see.
The thinkers and geniuses of our times. There we go. Fuck, man.
What I don't like about it is that the people would come up, they sit down to debate, and they wouldn't actually understand, or they couldn't understand. So this is why I tend not to do these blood sports types of things.
This is not blood sport.
I don't know. We had talked about it, and I was like, yeah, we could do something. I think it would have been fair if they said, hey, we tipped somebody off, or someone tipped somebody off. Tim Pool's gonna be here. You should bring a beanie. Because I'm gonna say it again. Ain't nobody in the world stupid as I am to be wearing a beanie all the time when it's 90 plus degrees in Los Angeles. It was hot. And the AC was turned off because it was too loud and it was screwing with the microphones. So you can actually see I'm a little shiny. I should have shaved though. You see, I look much thinner, right, when I shave. And if you're looking at this video right now, look at my face, and then look at there. I'm like, I look so much fatter. Here's the okay. All right. The community notes. Rage quitting is to leave abruptly in a fit of anger and frustration, not calmly walking away after being denied an opportunity to give a rebuttal due to verbal diarrhea from the opponent. Yes, was this helpful? Citing quality sources, easy to understand, direct addresses provide.
That's a community, patch note of correction. That basically means that thing is useless then at that point. It sounds like a fucking frat boy counter arguing against something versus hey guys, we're noticing this is wrong. He said the date is this, but the date is actually over here. Or he's not left-handed, he's right-handed. Whatever, like shit like that, right? But that sounded like straight up frat boy, it's like editorial sounding thing, right? Or opinion piece sounding thing. But whatever. Once again, who cares, right, guys? Who cares? Let's apply though. Here we go.
It's context and it's neutral. Oh, let's get an other in there. Submit. This post is misleading. While Tim Pool briefly stepped away during a heated exchange, he did not walk out of the show permanently. He returned to complete the full 1 hour and 41-minute episode of Jubilee Surrounded. And no note needed, personal opinion. Take disagreements to the replies. I actually agree with that one. But I think this was funny, so I'm rating it. This guy right here just got super angry, and he did very, very much similarly. But I'm gonna let you in on the big secret. They're not, guys. It's not a real debate. It's blood sports. It's not a real debate. This is the big secret. It is not a real debate.
It's not.
These young guys are going up and they're saying Tim Pool's got like 12 million followers across the board, right? This is my opportunity to get a viral clip because it's Tim Pool. So these younger guys, look at this. Homeboy, congratulations. It's 4.4 million views. But there's something you need to understand. The reason why I walked off.
Yes, that
I'll
is
say it
part
again.
of
First,
it too, by the way.
it is largely disrespectful. If we're going to have a debate,
win
we're going to have a
from
debate.
Temple.
You want a soapbox, you don't, I can go, right? I learned that move from Ye. Although I was reasonable to Ye.
Yay.
But
Kanye?
in order for me to
Yeah,
do this,
when
to
Kanye
do this
stormed
show
off
and to
of
make it
his show.
valuable,
I just don't like how he
can't
said that.
just be
I don't
like
believe
when
it.
Ben Shapiro
Sorry.
sat there and got yelled at. That
I'm
clip
gonna
went
keep saying that.
massively viral, and Ben was just like, you know, like he didn't really, he pushed back a little bit, but it looked like they got him, right? And so here's what you got to understand about blood sports. And I explained this 2 weeks ago.
This is not blood sport.
There are progressives
God.
that will debate a right winger, but you never see the right winger. It'll just be the guy on camera, and you hear a disembodied voice. He's on the phone with somebody. And the interesting thing is, if you'll notice it, on his channel, you'll get the live debate, but the clips will only be when he roasts that right winger. Liberals will all grab the clips of him roasting the MAGA guy.
You're
as
a moderate, Timmy. I don't get it.
However, it is intentional that the MAGA guy, the disembodied voice, gets him over as well. Why? The liberals, the progressives know this very well. The right doesn't do it all the same because the right, actually, in my opinion, is more genuine. Sorry, I'm just call it biased.
Just a moderate talking.
Well, but Timmy, don't you like show like AOC with the weird buggy eyes looking thing? Isn't that like the same phenomenon of trying to like win through not through argumentation, but through aesthetics, kind of, or the way it looks, right? Oh my God, this guy rage quitted because he walked off, or AOC's crazy because look at her eyes, right? You do the same, obviously do the same thing. And man, I feel bad for you, dude. I feel really bad. But when shit goes down, man, I feel really bad for you, Timmy. Because you decide to call yourself a loser, and you're living it. Congratulations, man. Good luck with that, though. Let's play though. End this fucking thing already. And yes, I want to play this. What's her name? Tara? Tara? I want to show that fucking tweet. But let's play this first. Here we go.
The point is, if you are on the right and you roast that lib and that clip goes viral, tons of big moderate to right-leaning shows are going to invite the progressive on their show having seen it. So the progressives are playing a game. The right-wing guy is unseen. He can say whatever. It's probably scripted.
But he
then gets red meat for his liberal base where he roasts the MAGA guy. The MAGA guy roasts the liberal, and then all the right-wing people see the liberal get roasted. They then learn who the liberal is. They add that name to their...
That's his fucking business. I swear to God. Okay, that's crazy right there that he's saying this.
He always does that.
That's his fucking business model. He was doing that for years, doing that.
Well, that's what James always says. He's always like telling you what he's doing by describing it as somebody else doing it.
Yeah.
Every time.
That is incredible. Like, that is so blatant, though. That was extra, I think. I'm wrecked by that. I'm kind of wrecked by that. That he actually said, I guess, for the sake of PR for himself is the reason for that. But that is fucking nuts, I think. For him saying that. What's the idea? Accusing someone else of what you're doing type of thing, right? But
calling the kettle black.
Yeah, but
the pot kept calling the kettle black.
Yeah, but this is that is so ridiculous. He spent years doing exactly what he's describing. He's been doing that shit for fucking years, dude. I'm wrecked by that. I am wrecked. Okay, here we go. That is fucking wreckage.
Oh, by the way, yeah, that is.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead. I'll tell you later. Go ahead.
All right, here we go.
He then gets red meat for his liberal base where he roasts the MAGA guy. The MAGA guy roasts the liberal, and then all the right-wing people see the liberal get roasted. They then learn who the liberal is. They add that name to their potential guests, and the liberal gets invited on a bunch of big shows left and right. It's fake. Fake-ish. Fake-ish.
You spent years doing this.
Why did I walk off?
Fuck out of here.
People on the right are reposting the clip being like, right on, Tim Pool. And a lot of the replies are like, no, he did the right thing walking away. And so I've got the clip where I say, I'm not going to sit here while you just yell at me and I can say, can I ask you a question over and over again politely, and you just keep yabbering. And so I get up and walk off. And certainly a lot of people who like my show are like, good on you, Tim. That was the right move. All the liberals sharing this are like, haha, Tim Pool rage quit. But either way, it maximizes the clip's reach between left
Kyle
and right.
portion, maybe?
Welcome to the fake world of internet blood sports.
He only played, he didn't play Tim Pool's reaction, just the...
Just just the Jubilee thingy or clip or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was after we saw Kyle had put out that video, I was curious if Tim had done a response to the Jubilee thing, so I told James to go to his Timcast thing, and then sure enough, like it was like 4 hours ago.
Fair enough.
So, yeah.
And just to add, my idea of internet blood sport, this is not it. Jubilee kids playing Duck Duck fucking Goose and sprinting towards chairs to debate someone that's not the blood sport thing that I thought back in the day of debates. And it'd be a lot more, I think, like damning in that time period, at least, of if you got like roasted in a debate, like, right? They like, oh my God, this guy sucks. Get him out of here. I guess standards have changed, but still, this is not blood sport, though. I think it's a lot different. This is like very nice, I guess, is the word. All right. Here we go.
Notionally, I think walking off was the right thing to do when someone's pulling a clip. Hey, you want to pull a stunt on me? I ain't going to sit here and take it. However, I am cognizant of these machines and mechanisms and know exactly what's going on, so we're all playing a game, aren't we? I invited these guys to come have a real debate, a real conversation, and, you know, what I will say ultimately, like, I think the issue with all of the claims, like, just watch it. There's a lot of falsehoods and mistakes. I mean, I probably got some things wrong. You know, it is what it is. The challenge that I thought, and I said this to the Jubilee guys, like, my claims are not particularly strong. Saying the U.S. is tracking towards civil war, I've never said a civil war will happen. I said
that's how Timmy's like regular record videos are. He'll make claims that are not so strong because I think, me personally, I think the point is to make it where it's so vague or so much room for interpretation or whatever, to where you can like dance around if there's like a counterpoint to it and make yourself sound correct or, you know, deep thinking or whatever. Or, hey, I know the audience like wants to hear this, so thus I'll say it vaguely, like a vague statement, and get them to like it or appreciate it and kind of deduct, or what's the word? Deduce or deduct, whatever. Whatever they want to say, which is what he just, by the way, he just accused someone else of doing that. He's done that for years. Are Democrats insane? Right? It's like leaning towards something. It's implying something in a way. But if someone like asks him, like, I didn't say anything. I asked a question. That's all I did. I did nothing wrong here. All I did was ask a simple question. And that's been Timmy's model for fucking years. But, you know, welcome to Earth. There we go.
hey, look at this interesting article that's suggesting a civil war may happen. Why do the experts think this? Why is a former CIA analyst
civil war
saying
for
this?
a long time today.
Why are there journalists saying it? Why are there national security experts saying it? 42 thumbnails out of something like 10 to 15,000. It's just not real. It's not a real debate. These guys want to get some clicks. They want to go viral. They didn't actually research any of the claims. They don't really know what they're talking about. But truth be told, if they're not going to tell them what the claims are, then I'm not surprised they weren't as prepared. And that's the nature of the show. But this guy knew it was me. I guess he maybe just didn't know exactly what I was going to be saying. So they had a rough go of it. I will say the funniest thing was they struggled.
They had a rough go. I watched you get roasted basically for the portions I watched of the Jubilee thing. Like straight up. There we go.
Names are that I'm not surprised they weren't as prepared, and that's the nature of the show. But this guy knew it was me. I guess he maybe just didn't know exactly what I was going to be saying. So they had a rough go of it. I will say the funniest thing was they struggled with the argument about the Constitution. They had no idea how to do it.
Skip that part. I didn't see that.
Because I think everybody agrees, left and right. The Constitution is toilet paper. The views on the left and the right as to how the Constitution functions, they are at odds with each other. So the left is saying Trump's destroyed it, and the right saying the left's destroyed it. So when I say we effectively don't have one, the only people who argue with me are like moderate lib types who are like, well, the Constitution is functioning. It's just a debate over the issues. Now, everybody's basically like, yeah, we agree Trump destroyed it, or liberals destroyed it. And I'm like, that's the point. How can you have a constituted body politic when no one agrees on what the country is? I'm going to wrap it up there. I had a lot of fun. I want to give a shout out to the Jubilee guys. They actually are very professional, very fair. I've heard from a lot of people, they say, oh, they're all libs and all that. Maybe, but look, there are people posting threats against me that have no business in politics. There's like a poker guy, because I just cashed this $3,000 tournament. Yesterday I was playing poker tournament, did really well. And then I got coverage.
Oh my God.
Turn
it up.
Like, look at this. Tim Pool, here he is playing poker and he's doing actually kind of well.
It's too much. Oh, what is that?
I want whoever watches this, I want them to know that little like pop noises and clicks and clacks that James was making fun of that.
I'm actually mad.
I mean, like years before, this guy was like overtly like doing that. I'm like, that is absolutely like poetic and hilarious. It is fucking hilarious to me, personally. Like, this fool was like making fun of those things. I mean, like years before, this guy was like overtly doing it. The shirt popping, the mouth noises. I'm like, I can't. It's hard to watch this fool without fucking cracking up sometimes with certain things. But for your viewing pleasure, I'll rewind and play that again.
I'm just mad James is not here. Because he'd be like, oh my God, turn it off. I can't. Go ahead, please, in all its glory. Pop in a...
And Timmy plays poker.
He cashes a $300,000 check. Oh, and you know what? It'll be great that you end it with him with the real Tim Pool, because it's exactly this.
And here we go.
Bunch of rich dudes.
There's like a poker guy, because I just cashed this $3,000 tournament. Yesterday I was playing poker tournament, did really well. And then I got coverage. Poker news is like, look at this, Tim Pool. Here he is playing poker, and he's doing actually kind of well. Like I got bad beat on one, and I made it on another. We had some fun clips. I'll make a vlog about it. Probably put it up on Friday, I guess. And there's a guy threatening me with violence.
Thanks.
I'm like, that's crazy. This guy's he's got no business in politics. He's a poker guy. What's he doing? It's causing all sorts of problems now. Security's getting involved. You can't do this stuff. It's not allowed. But the Jubilee guys, nothing like that at all. Nothing. They said, we'd be glad to have you any time. Thanks for coming. The Jubilee guys and women, the company.
They're about business.
They let you come in and say what you want to say. I think it's fantastic, and I'm glad that they're able to at least get something like this, because otherwise I don't know how you can sit down with these libs. They don't want to come on the show. But we told a handful of these guys they're always welcome to come on the show. It's
okay. All right, let me hear that. Sorry.
22, because you got to understand, some of these guys are fairly progressive, and some of the ones I did not debate that didn't go to the chair, they were like, "Oh, actually, I love watching your stuff. Like, I disagree with you on like policy positions, but I like watching the show because you know you pull
I don't
you guys
believe me
talk
either.
about it."
I'm
And
like,
anyone
yo.
who watches Tim Cast IRL knows that like Phil is more libertarianish, nationalist. Ian is out of his gourd, and we'll invite on anybody willing to come on. And sometimes they tend to lean right because the left doesn't want to come on. But you know, a couple of these young people were like, "No, I watch a lot of your clips. Like, yeah, I actually like watching your stuff. You know, it's pretty good. Thank you." And I'm like, "Cool, yeah, we'd love to have you." So it was fun. It was fun. We got along. And
This guy's a weirdo.
He's
man.
lying.
Yeah.
He's literally lying.
Timmy.
Fine.
He's for sure Timmy.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna end on this beat I want to show here. Just like someone like smelling what I'm cooking, or you know, I think obviously, independently, like see something similar or interesting idea to me. This lady Tara that I keep getting recommended. Once again, could be full of shit for all I know. I have no idea who the fuck this person is. But I found this interesting. It says, nothing but love, Tiff. But this is the biggest and most annoying excuse people make to excuse complicity or inaction on the part of public figures claiming to fight evil in a very public and blatant way. When one willingly enters into the arena to fight evil, especially on the world stage, they acknowledge that it comes with inherent risks to their reputation, their career, and yes, even potentially to their life. People all over the world and throughout history have assumed that this risk in the fight against evil. If Thomas Massey is unwilling to assume this risk, fair enough, but he then needs to step the fuck away. Get the fuck out of the arena then. You don't belong here. You cannot be both a hero and a coward. You cannot have it both ways. And in words, I absolutely agree. It's a topic of something else, right? Just drop my phone.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to Thomas Massey, but still, I want that energy when you're talking to Timmy Pool. Not to own him for the fucking Jubilee channel, but fucking like go that level. I want to hear that. Like, yo, you don't belong here. Get the fuck out. It's not a joke. Actually, get the fuck out. That needs to happen, I think. I want that energy in that direction towards people like that. And until that happens, it's a circle jerk of political dancing and doing a waltz. Unfortunately. So yeah, I want to see that shit. Like the gates of hell are fucking opening, which they are. I want to like see that like it's happening, and tangle with that. And now listen to Tim Pool say, "Oh well, the left is eating ice cream or some stupid shit." Now look at it; it looks fucking stupid now.
Licking ice cream.
Whatever. Let's actually take this seriously. For once, guys. Fuck fucking politics. There's a bigger story happening. It's in our fucking hearts. Let's fucking deal with it. For real. Instead of fucking pretending and doing this dance of politics. But either way, I'll leave it there. There's your video. Please subscribe if you feel like. Comment. Agree, disagree, let it be known in the comment section what you think. I will respond. But more importantly, like join the Discord and say your thoughts out loud. Please. I want to hear I actually care to hear that. I know I'm an asshole, but I could be a nice asshole. That sounds bad. Whatever. I could be nice about
crazy.
it. Whatever. The point is
lucky Anthony's not here.
I'll hear you out. I won't just dismiss you. I'll hear you out first before I start ranting and raving. So please, don't be afraid. Say your ideas out loud if you want to. Please. I'll show the everything I showed you will be linked. You can look at it on your own and whatever. Study it, look at it. I think like the Timmy Pool operating system is like obsolete at this point. Probably for many people, it's probably like very obsolete. Like, oh, we moved on, bro. We moved on to Israel now, where Timmy can't go to, but he'll feel like he's like. I can't remember Timmy when I was like 21 years old or 16 or. It is what it is, but either way, it'll be linked for you to look at on your own. Most importantly, with all of that said, where's my Timmy thing? Is it in archives?
Give this video a Ram Ranch.
No. Where's my Timmy thing? Is it in archives? You posted it there?
Yeah.
Okay. With all that said,
A while ago.
With all that said, here's your outro.
This video a Ram Ranch. Go ahead, Jordan.
Yes.
Now, I'm no fan of Trump. He's a little too boorish for me. But I gotta tell you, this UAE agreement is historic. He wants to bring our troops home.
Just James.
Yeah! Make it rain! Make it rain, baby! Yeah, baby! Hit me with your best shot! Oh, yeah, baby!
It's also somehow copyrighted.
Hit me with your best shot! Yeah!
Do it! Do it! I want it in my mouth now!
He does this shit all the time.
Give this video a thumbs down.